This is the truth about how your mind creates your future. There is a moment in your life that defines everything you will become. It's that silent, almost imperceptible instant, invisible to others, but electrifying for the one who lives it. The moment when you decide how you will see the world. I'm not talking about big decisions or external events, but about that intimate whisper, nearly unseen, that happens within you. One thought takes shape, then another, and another, until those ideas intertwine into a powerful chain called mindset. That chain shapes every step you take, every choice you make, and consequently, every outcome you achieve. Imagine yourself standing at the edge of a vast ocean. You are faced with two options. You can look at the waves with fear, dreading being pulled under, or you can see that immensity as an invitation to growth, adventure, and the unknown. The fascinating thing is that, regardless of the path you choose, both visions are real, because they exist within you. The human mind is like fertile soil where any planted seed can grow. And here lies the undeniable truth. The kind of seed you plant will determine the kind of harvest you reap. Think about the stories of men and women whose lives were forged by the power of their beliefs. Thomas Edison, for example, faced thousands of failures before lighting the first electric bulb. When asked about his failures, he calmly replied, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." This response wasn't just a clever phrase, it was a profound declaration of his mindset. He saw each frustrated attempt as a necessary step towards success, not as a definitive defeat. His beliefs created his future, just as yours will create yours. But what does it really mean to believe? Believing isn't simply repeating empty affirmations or wishing for something with fervor. Believing is a conscious decision to accept that you have the power to change your reality. It's understanding that the universe doesn't conspire against you. In fact, it responds to the energy you emit. Mindset is the foundation of that energy. It's the lens through which you interpret the world, and that interpretation shapes your reality. The clearer and more focused your mindset, the sharper your vision of the future. Now think about Henry Ford, a man who literally transformed the automotive industry with what seemed like a simple idea, making cars accessible to everyone. But Ford wasn't just a visionary. He was someone who deeply believed in the power of repetition and consistency. He knew that small daily actions, when aligned with a greater vision, could generate extraordinary results. And here's the crucial lesson. Your mindset needs to be anchored in something bigger than the immediate present. It must be fueled by a clear vision of what you want to build. Vision is the fuel that keeps your mindset alive and active. Without a defined vision, your mind gets lost in distractions and uncertainties, like a ship without a compass in the open sea. Think about the great leaders of history. Abraham Lincoln fought personal doubts and tragedies while tirelessly working to unify a nation divided by civil war. Walt Disney faced constant rejections before building the empire we know today. What did they have in common? A vision so powerful that it overcame every obstacle. They didn't just dream, they saw. They felt. They lived their visions as if they were already reality. When you create a vision for your life, you are declaring to the universe that you are ready to take responsibility for it. You are saying, "I am the architect of my destiny." This requires courage because it means leaving your comfort zone and facing the unknown. It means letting go of excuses and the ifs we love to use to justify our limitations. Remember, no one ever built something great by staying trapped in their circumstances. And this is where another fundamental principle comes in: purpose. Purpose is the lighthouse that illuminates your journey. It's the reason you get up every morning, even when the weight of exhaustion feels unbearable. Purpose isn't something you stumble upon by chance, it's cultivated. It arises from the intersection of your natural talents, your deepest passions, and the needs of the world around you. When you connect your life to a greater purpose, you transcend your own limits. You become part of something that goes beyond yourself. Consider the journey of Mother Teresa of Calcutta. She dedicated her life to the poor and marginalized, driven by a purpose so intense that it inspired millions of people worldwide. Her legacy proves that purpose isn't just a pretty word. It's a driving force that transforms lives. When you discover your purpose, you don't just change your own life, you impact the lives of others as well. However, purpose alone is not enough. To make it a reality, you need discipline. Discipline is the muscle that carries you forward when motivation begins to wane. It's the daily practice of doing what needs to be done, even when there's no glamour or immediate recognition. Discipline isn't punishment, it's freedom. It frees you from procrastination, fear, and indecision. It helps you build habits that sustain your vision. Imagine a giant tree. You only see its tall branches and lush leaves, but beneath the surface, its roots stretch deep into the soil, seeking nutrients and stability. Similarly, the results you want to achieve are visible above the surface, but the roots, disciplined habits, are what hold everything together. Without discipline, your vision remains just a distant dream. With discipline, it becomes tangible. And here we arrive at the beating heart of it all: action. Action is the point of contact between your mind and the outside world. No matter how clear your vision is or how strong your purpose is, without action, nothing happens. Action is where the abstract becomes concrete. It's the bridge that connects the present to the future you desire. But here's the secret: action doesn't have to be perfect. In fact, perfection is often the enemy of progress. What matters is starting. Taking the first step, no matter how small, is enough to set the wheels of destiny in motion. Remember Steve Jobs, who started building computers in his garage, or Oprah Winfrey, who overcame extreme poverty and abuse to become one of the most influential women in the world. What did they have in common? Both acted with courage, even when the path ahead seemed uncertain. They didn't wait for ideal conditions. They created the conditions they needed, but action alone doesn't guarantee success. For it to be effective, you need to incorporate another essential virtue: gratitude. Gratitude is the antidote to chronic dissatisfaction. It reminds you to value what you already have while working toward what you still desire. When you practice gratitude, you shift your perspective. You stop seeing life as a series of problems to solve and start viewing it as a journey full of opportunities. Gratitude also amplifies your ability to learn. When you're grateful for the process, even for mistakes and setbacks, you open yourself to new possibilities. You embrace adaptability, understanding that success rarely follows a straight path. Adaptability is the ability to adjust your course without losing sight of your ultimate destination. It allows you to navigate the inevitable changes of life with grace and determination. Finally, there's one quality that ties all the others together: resilience. Resilience is the ability to get back up after falling, to keep going even when the world seems to conspire against you. It's not just about enduring, it's about thriving in the midst of adversity. It's about finding strength in moments of weakness and light in the midst of darkness. Resilience is proof that you are greater than any obstacle you face. Remember this: your mind is the supreme architect of your life. Everything you think, feel, and believe shapes the future you will experience. So decide now who you want to be. Plant the right seeds, nurture them with care and persistence, and watch your life blossom in ways you never imagined. This is the truth about how your mind creates your future. Now it's up to you to turn that truth into reality. You were born for this.